Hello guys, welcome back to our Brainy Voyage YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to discuss about type conversion, Truthy and falsie values. These are the three major concepts that we are going to discuss in this video. Okay, now let's just dive into what is meant by type conversion. Type conversion, generally what is meant by type conversion? Manually converting from one type to another type by the developer in the code itself is called as type conversion. So there is a need to know that why and how you're doing the type conversion. Okay, now let's just dive into the class what is meant by type conversion. Okay, so I'm going to take some values initially here. So I'm going to initialize const here as const here equals to 1990, then string here. I'm going to replace this with a string. Okay, and I'm going to perform some addition operations for this. Okay, so I'm going to take a year here and I'm going to add this with 10. Let's check what will be the output. Okay, you know that this will be an concatenation in JavaScript. This has been done in the previous sessions. You can know that in the previous videos if you want, if you have any doubt. Okay, to do the operation. Okay, now let's just come back to this video. Okay, to convert this string value to the number type, we have a function in JavaScript that. Okay, now let's just enclose this with the brackets itself and start writing the function here, which is a number function. Okay, this will manually convert the year, which is a string value, to the numerical value, right? This is how we convert the year, which is a numerical value, to the string value here. Okay, so here the number, which is a 1990, has an addition with the 10 and I got the value as 2000 in the console, right? Okay, so what if we want to perform a string value, like a similar string value without any numeric values? Will it convert to the new numbers here? Let's just check here. Okay, so I'm going to take first name here. First name equals to as Brainy, and I'm going to pass this in the console. Okay, console dot log of, which is an first name, plus I'm going to pass 10 also in here, and I'm going to save the file. At first I'm going to see that I got a Brainy plus 10 in the console, and now I am going to perform the number conversion here. Okay, so I'm going to add number in the prefix values and I'm going to save the file. See, I got a not a number value in the console because the string values which doesn't have the numeric values, like entire numeric values, that doesn't converts here. Okay, let's just check whether if we add some values like zeros or one or two values in the to this string value, and let's just save the file. Okay, it will is a completely string because this doesn't convert into the ASCII values, right? A Brainy value is not converting into ASCII values here. So whatever the value that, if that has an alphabet or words in the in this, that will be considered as a string itself, and that doesn't recognize as a number here. Okay, generally if you can see that this not a number is also a number in the JavaScript, right? So let's just check that, and we are going to pass the type of, okay, type of operator to check the type of this operation. Okay, type of, and I'm going to pass number, and I'm going to pass first name in this. Okay, and I'm going to save the file. See, this function is a number, but that doesn't recognize it as an actual number. This has some dependencies in JavaScript. Okay, now let's just go move on to the type coercion. Okay, so generally what is meant by type coercion? JavaScript automatically converts from one type to another type, which cannot be seen by us. Okay, without the involvement of developer, it will automatically convert the numeric values into the string values and string value to the numeric values. And I forgot to tell you that we can also convert the numeric values into the string values here. Let's just check how we can do that. Okay, so I'm going to console.log of I'm going to pass string value which is to the year, okay, and I'm going to pass it here, and let's just check both the values, right, a string value and a normal year value, right, okay. Yeah, okay, and I'm going to save the file here. Okay, see, we got this is a string itself in the beginning, right? So it doesn't have any changes. Okay, now let's see that. But for initially, we got the year into the string conversion and it gave me the white color. And here, year, which is a numeric value, got in the console with an blue or violet color, whatever the color might be. Okay, this is the representation of number, and this is a representation of string values. Okay, this is how we do the conversion from one type to another type. But you should remember that the values which we are getting, like initial values that are not going to change its type, right? Here we converted the string value to sorry, numeric value to string at this specific case only, not the to the entire situation. So it might raise a bug. So whatever the values that we are going to take, that should be operated by the main operation itself. Okay, now let's just move on to the type coercion. As I said, type coercion will automatically converts from one type to another type without the intervention of developer. Okay, now let's just check how we can do that. Okay, so I'm going to console.log some values here. Console.log of, I'm going to pass the age of admin, and I'm going to pass a numeric value here which is at my age, and I'm going to pass some values here. Okay, the age of admin is 20, right? The age of admin is okay, is 20. Let's just save the file and let's check what will be the output here. Okay, see here, the numeric value is also converted to the string value here. See, this doesn't has been rectified into the numeric value because it is not converted into the blue color. So the entire thing which we have written here is a string itself. Okay, this is how it will automatically replaces the values from one type to another type. Okay, now let's just check some other values, right? Will it perform if we add minus, and will it work if I add star and multiplication and other things to the string and to numeric values itself, right? So here we are going to start the quiz session. Okay, let's just think that it will be a quiz session. Okay, okay, so I'm going to take a console.log of, and I'm going to pass a string value here which is in 10, and I'm going to add it with the 10 itself, and I'm going to subtract it with 10. Okay, now let's say just think of the answer here. Okay, what will be the output of for this? Okay, you might think that we might get a 10 value here, but we won't get it because here these two will perform the concatenation operation, and that becomes the 1010. Okay, by reducing with the minus operation, this will be, and this entire string which we got as 10,010 will be converted into a numeric value, and it will be reduced with the minus 10. Okay, at the time we get a output in the console that 1000 will be the answer. Okay, and let's just check if it works whether in performing multiplication operation or division operations, etc, etc. Okay, I'm going to perform console.log of, and I'm going to pass 10, and I'm going to pass star 2 here. Okay, now let's just take both into the string values itself, right? So you can get an idea, and I'm going to save the file here. Okay, I got 20 in the console because addition is only the value that is going to concatenate two strings, but whatever the operations that we are including in between, that will be taken as the arithmetical operation. So whatever the string values that we are given, that will be converted into the numeric values, and the output will be given in the console, right? Here 10 into 2 will be and 20 in the answer, so we got 20 in the console. Okay, now let's just perform the division operation also. Console log 10 divided by 2. Let's just save the file, and we got 5 in the console. Absolutely, the division will give, and 10 by 2 will give an output as 5 itself. Okay, Now let's just think that what will be the output if I add an actual string here. Okay, I'm going to pass Brainy value and I'm going to multiply with string value 2 and I'm going to save the file. Think of the answer here. Let's just take a few seconds and I'm going to save the file. Okay, I think you think the answer. Let's just save the file and check the answer in the console itself, right? Okay, we got the not a number in the console because string value here will not be converted into a numeric value, and if without a numeric value that will not be converted in that will not be multiplied with the 2. So we got the output as not a number value here. Okay, here not a number value is not a zero value, not an infinite value, not an regular numeric value. That is a number but not identified as a number here. Okay, that's the reason why we are getting not a number in the console. Okay, this is how we perform a type conversion and type coercion. And let's just take one more example to understand the type coercion here. Okay, so I'm going to take a number here which is 10 and I'm going to perform some operations to it. Okay, so I'm going to pass number equals to number plus 10. Okay, and I'm going to subtract the number with, we can also write like this also. Okay, right? So I'm going to pass 2 here and I'm going to add an string value also, right? That's the reason of using this. So I'm going to add with an string value of 20 and I'm going to save the file. Sorry, let's just get a let value here, log this. Okay, console.log of number. I forgot to console log this value. Okay, see we got 1820 in the console. Let's just identify why we got 1820 in the console, right? So here the 10 plus 10 value, which is an initially number value, is in 10, and here also 10. Both are the numeric values and we are going to add it, right? So it performs an arithmetic operation, not an concatenation. So we got 20 in the console at first and we reduced it with minus 2, right? So 20 minus 2 will be an output of 18 here. Okay, now we are going to add this with the 20, but here the 20 isn't string value, so the numeric value which we have taken will be converted to a string and it will be added with the 20. That's the reason we got 1820 in the console, right? This is the important thing in type coercion. Okay, now let's just dive into the truthy and falsy values. These are the 5 falsy values in the JavaScript, right? Whatever these values that we are getting, when we are converted them into the Boolean values, we get the truth, truthy and falsy values. Okay. For example, I'm going to take some values here. Okay. So I'm going to console log the Boolean value of 0 and we should get true or false in the console, right? Now above this, I'm going to comment this all out because you might not get confused by all this, right? Okay, now I'm going to take an boolean function here and I'm going to pass 0 here. Think the answer, what will be the output. Okay, here the boolean value here is an falsy value, right? See, we got false in the console, right? That's because 0 is an falsy value and that when we converted them into the boolean value, it gave us the answer called false. At general, when we console log the 0 value, we won't get any error, like we don't get any false values because 0 is a number and that will be printed exactly. But when we convert it into the boolean type, that will be converted into the truth or false values. Okay, 0 here will be an false value, so that is converted into the that gave us the answer called as false here. Okay, and let's just copy this and paste it for few more times, and so that we can perform some operations here. Okay, so I'm going to take the any other value not that is not an zero value here. Okay, so I'm going to pass 10 here, and I'm going to save the file, and we got the true in the console here. Okay, right, and let's just pass all the values and explain the topic here. Okay, and I'm going to pass an empty string here, and I'm going to pass some values here like Brainy, and here I'm going to pass an empty object. Okay, now let's just save the file and explain why we got all this, right? And we also have undefined, right? Let's just save that also. Let's just save the file. Okay, see here 0 is an falsy value, right? When we converted into a zero boolean values, that gave us the output as false in the console. But here 10 is not an falsy value, that is, so that we got true in the console. 10 is a number that represents some truthy values, right? So that gave us the answer called as true in the console. And empty string is also an falsy value that I have represented here, so we got the false in the console. And when we replace it with some values in strings, it gave us the true values. And here undefined is also a false, and we also have a null also, right? A null and not a number. Let's just check all those values here. So I'm going to pass null here, and I'm going to pass not a number also. Okay, and let's just save the file. We got false in the console, right? These are the five falsy values in JavaScript. Okay, let's just take it with an example. So I'm going to take some values, and I'm going to perform if condition here, because if condition has an expression that contains boolean values, right? Let's just check that. So I am going to take let number is equals to 0 at initial state, right? And I'm going to perform the values here. Okay, so if number, then I'm going to console.log of value, number is truthy value. And if in else condition, I'm going to pass console.log of number is falsy, right? Now let's just save the file. See here, we got number as false in the console. Okay, here the number value which is generally a numeric value, but whenever it came into an expression, it converted into a boolean type. So whatever the value that we got in the console, that will be an falsy value, right? Let's just replace the number with 0 itself, right? That will be considered as an falsy value itself. See, we got the falsy in the console, right? That's how we implement all these truthy and falsy values by in real-time applications. But we cannot use this in several cases, like see here. So I'm going to take a number here, and I'm going to pass something called undefined here. Okay, if I just save the file, or we can just replace it with the number itself, because we haven't initialized it with any value, that will be called as an undefined itself, right? So I'm going to save the file now. We should get falsy itself, right? So here whatever the condition we have written, if it is not initialized with any value, that will be considered as an undefined itself, so that will be taken as an falsy condition itself. So I'm going to pass an empty string also here. Okay, same thing has happened here. And what if I just pass something other than that, right? So I'm going to pass some values here. Okay, so I'm going to pass hi, and I'm going to save the file here. That became true here, because not an empty string will not become an falsy value. This is how we perform truthy and falsy values, and I hope you have a clear picture of using a type conversion, type coercion, and truthy values in JavaScript. Let's just meet in another session. Thank you for watching.